Today I'm making marbled bundt cake, and here are the ingredients that we need. 3 ounces of chocolate chips, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 1 1/4 cups of milk, 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 cup of room temperature butter, and 2 1/2 cups of flour. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Alright, our first step is to take about 1/4 of our milk and just pour it in to a little saucepan. Alright, that's good. And we're going to take our 3 ounces of chocolate and we're just going to pop that in there. And we're just going to gently melt this. We don't have to boil it, we just want to melt it. So I'm going to let this melt and I'll be back. I've got this on very, very low, by the way. We also want to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll let this melt and I'll come back just when it's ready to come off. Alrighty, so this is about 2 minutes later and you can see everything is nicely incorporated. So at this point we're just going to take it off the heat. I've already turned my heat off just now. And just take this and put it to the side. We're going to be using this later. Alright, our next step is to take all of our butter and pop that into our bowl. Alright. And we're going to put in the sugar and we're going to cream that together. So let's grab our mixer and start mixing this up. Alrighty, that's nicely creamed together. So let's get an egg in. We've got 3 eggs to pop in there. So there's one. So let's get that going. We'll get the next one in. Alrighty, and our third and final egg. If you haven't done so already, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get our third egg in here. Alright, that's nice. And we need a teaspoon of almond extract. So I'll just get that in there. There we go. That's beautiful. So the stuff I'm using is by Clubhouse. Pure almond extract. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. There we go. Alrighty, so let's mix that up. Alright, that looks good, and now let's get on with our next step. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our flour. We're going to take our salt, just pop our salt in there, and our baking powder. And you can just mix that around. I'm just going to grab a little whisk and just mix everything like this. Alright, that's good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing it into our wet mix. We'll put a little bit in there. We'll get that going. Let me try to get back on camera here. There we go. Alright, let's put a little bit more. We'll do 3 additions. So we'll mix this around. Alright, we get the rest in, and I'll slowly incorporate that. That almond extract smells really good. And we'll just add our milk in. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm using a Bundt pan. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some Pam and I'm just going to spray this. If you don't have that, what you can do is take margarine and just put margarine around it, or butter. So I'm going to go spray this and I'll be back. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get a spatula and we're going to pour 2/3 of this batter into our Bundt pan. Oh, that almond extract smells really good. So there we go, that's about 2/3, maybe a little bit more. So I'll just let that settle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate, which has cooled down, and we're now going to add this to this mixture. So I'm just going to pour it in. Use a spatula so that you get everything. You don't want to waste any of this. So let's get all of that in there. There we go. And let's mix this up. Alright, and now we have our cake batter here. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spoon in, or ladle in, the chocolate right over the top. Try to do an even job. Alright, there we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a fork. You can use anything you want. You can use a very small spatula. First of all, just get the chocolate evenly all over the top. Okay, now just take your fork and just start playing around in there. Just do little designs. And what that's going to do, it's going to mix the chocolate with the white part of the cake. So you can kind of go down and lift up. You can go like this. You don't want to go too many times. There, that's good enough. Alright, perfect. If you got any little extra on the top, you can just wipe it off. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this in the oven for about 60 minutes, for a good hour. You want to take a little tester and you can pop it in and you'll know if it's done or not in your oven. So I'm going to pop this in now and I'll be back when it's baked. Well, I just wanted to show you the cake in the oven, and there it is. It's been in almost 3 minutes. So that's it for now. So when it's baked, I'll be back. Alright, my cake has been out for about 10 minutes cooling, and it looks pretty darn good. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a very soft spatula and just going around to ensure that this thing is going to pop out nice and easily. So there we go. I think that's good. Maybe just a little bit in the middle here. We'll just go around a little bit just to loosen it. If you have a smaller spatula, that'll even work better. Alright, that looks pretty good. Or I can just squeeze it like that to conform to that inner circle. That's actually pretty good, like that. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, ooh, that's still hot. Put it down there. I'm just going to put this like that, and we're going to flip it upside down. Let me grab another thing here. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Whew. Move that right in the middle, and there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the cake cool for about 2 hours, a good 2 hours, and then I will slice a little piece out and I will show you how it looks at the end of the video. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.